Okay, thank you very much. The ACR has to be probably the greatest trick that you could do with cards. And I bet if you went to see any magician, or say for instance you were attending an event or a function where there was a magician performing, a walk around magician, I can guarantee you that at some point in the evening he will do his own version of the ambitious card. I promise you that. Okay. Leading me on to my next one then, something that you won't find a magician doing at a function, and that is small card packet tricks. I mean, not just with a full deck, but small packets. The reason is obviously, if they've got their own table somewhere set up and people come to view them, then maybe so. But if they're walking around, generally doing walk around magic for people, then they're not going to start stripping little cards out of the pack just to show you a small packet trick. But it's something that I really pride myself on. I really do like the fundamentals of doing small packet effects. And it just so happens that I've got a small packet effect for you already right here. Aren't I prepared? Okay. So, without further ado, this little small packet effect is called the Jazz Queens, and I'll show it for you right now. Because what I've noticed that the 4 queens in my deck, they're a little bit snobbish, and what they tend to do is look down on all the other cards in the pack, like these 4 black spot cards, for example. A bit, I suppose, how like other people treat other people in life. But what I actually want to do is I want to give you a little bit of a demonstration of what I'm actually talking about. Now, for me to actually do this, I need to take first of all the 4 queens, and I'm going to leave them out in the 4 corners of the mat, so you can actually keep your eye on these throughout the whole of the routine. Now, especially I want you to keep your eye on this one up here, because this is where all the magic is going to take place. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to try and get one of the queens to swap places with one of the common cards one at a time. So if I place a commoner down here, I take the first queen and I bury her into the common cards. Now, she hates this. So with a snap and a tap, the first queen now actually leaves the commoners, and she arrives over here with her lady friend. Now I'll try this again for you right now. We take the next queen, and again I bury her into the commoners, but again she hates it. So with a snap and a tap, the next queen now leaves the commoners, and she arrives over here with her lady friend. We'll try it one more time. I'll take the final queen and we bury it into the common cards, but again she hates it. So with a snap and a tap, the final queen now actually leaves the commoners, and that means if I'm left down here with the 4 common cards, that means over here we have the 4 queens. Now, this isn't really the moral to the end of the story, because the queens obviously look down on the commoners thinking that they're actually below them. But in fact, what the queens didn't realise is that underneath, the 4 commoners were actually the 4 kings. And that is the Jazz Queens. I thank you very much. Okay. Let's try something a little bit different. Okie dokie. Right, what I'm actually going to do for you now is an effect that a lot of magicians actually open up with, because it's actually called the Chicago Opener. But I like to call this the Red Hot Mama Trick. It goes something like this. So I'd need somebody here, a spectator, to start to card, but there isn't a spectator here. I am on my lonesome. But what I'm going to do, as I go down the park, I'm just going to say stop at a random place. Blah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah, stop. Okay? Now I need you to remember this card. Okay? You remember it? Can you see it? Excellent. And all I'm going to do is just shuffle more cards on top, so we just lose it in there, just like so. Are we happy? Now the thing is, I've got to try and find your card, but I think this is going to be super, super easy for me, because what I actually did, without you knowing, was put a little mark on the back of the card, and I'm sure you'll see it as soon as we get to it. I'll just look for a little mark, and there it is. Now then, did you think that this was your card? The 8 of clubs? Excellent. We're just going to leave that down there for the second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this again. So as I go down the park again, just say stop anywhere you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Remember this card. Okay? I'm going to lose it back inside the middle of the deck, and I'm going to give it some shuffles. And first of all, we need to make sure it's not that one, is it? Excellent. And it's not that one, is it? Excellent. So it's lost in the pack. But again, it's going to be very, very easy for me because all I've got to do is look for the little marker I put on the back of it. So I'll just quickly go through again looking for the marked card. And yeah, hang on a minute. I seem to be struggling finding it. Oh yeah, I see. The marked card is obviously this one over here. Your selected card. And that one, my friends, is Red Hot Mama. And a blue card doesn't really go with a red part, but we don't care. Thank you. Well, it looks like we're coming to a bit of a close. I think we've got time for we've got time for a couple more before we actually call this a day. My mouth's very dry tonight, so I'm just going to have a drink. Very nice. Okay. What I'm going to do for you now is actually an effect which comes from a local magician to me by the name of Mark Lee. Now, once I started, when I joined the Bradford Magic Circle, they obviously point you in the right direction of where to go if you're wanting to buy your musical. Musical? I'm getting onto music. I am a musician as well. If you wanted to buy your magical props. Now, I was pointed in the direction of Wakefield, which isn't far from where I live. And I was pointed in the direction of Merlin's Magic Store, where I buy all my cards from and things like that. The guy who owns it is a magician called Mark Lee, and he actually came up with this effect that I'm going to show you now, and he actually showed me in the shop, and I was a bit blown away by it, to be honest. So obviously I've purchased it. It's called Drift, and I'm going to put this in tonight. Not really to big him up, but I just think it's a good trick. If that's bigging him up, then I'm bigging him up. He's a good magician though. And so I'm going to do it exactly the way that he did it to me in the shop. So basically what he did was he said, Paul, just go and select a card. But as I went to touch one, he actually pulled them away. And he told me, he says, it's not fair on me because the cards are face down and I don't know what I'm picking. So what he did was he turned the pack up and he says, go on, choose a card this time. And as I went to grab the card this time, he pulled them away and he says, I could possibly force a card on you. Now, me being a magician, I know what that means. So obviously I said, well, yeah, I suppose you could. So he said, I'm going to make it even fairer for you. He said, I'm just going to go through the cards one at a time. And all you've got to do is when you see a card, is you just say stop. So I thought, okay, fair enough. So I let him go through the cards a little bit. And then eventually I said, stop. Now he said, then you can stop on the 2 of hearts if you want it. You can have the ace of hearts if you want it. Or you can have the 6 of diamonds. I thought, I'm going to confuse you here. I'll have the 6 of diamonds. He says, no problem. And he pushed the card forward. And he said, are you sure? Would you like to change your mind? I said, no, I'll stick with that. He says, no worries. He took out the card and then replaced it back inside the centre of the deck. Now I was a bit flummoxed by this because I thought, well, that's a really good trick. But he said, what he said to me next was a bit baffling because he said, most magicians now would say to the spectator that I'm going to try and find your card. But Mark said, I'm not going to do that. He says, what I'm going to do, he says, I'm not going to find your card. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lose all the other cards in the deck. And I said, well, that's a great trick if you can. He said, well, I've already done it. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, watch. He says, the 5 of hearts has gone. So is the 2 of spades. So is the Jack of clubs. So is the Ace of hearts. In fact, we could be here all day actually. So he turned the cards over and proceeded to show me now that every single card in the pack was completely and utterly vanished, apart from just one in the pack, which had to be my selected card, of course. And then obviously went through the rest of the deck, showing me that every single other card had now vanished. And I thought that was a fantastic trick. And he said, yeah, but Paul, the thing is, in magic, you never ever should believe what you actually see, because even your card has the power to vanish too. And that was Drift by Mark Lee, fantastic trick. If you go online, it's Merlin's Magic Wakefield, and I think you can find him on YouTube as well, performing that one himself. So fantastic trick. If you want to know how it's done and you want to purchase the effect, go ahead. There you go, there's your advertising space, Mark. Okay, I think we've got time for one more. Last one of the evening. Okay, let's first of all give the pack a shuffle, because that's the best way to do things around here. Thoroughly mix them up. Now what I need is a card selected again by a spectator, but again I don't have one, but as I just dribble down it says stop there, excellent. Now that is the card that you need to remember. And to lose this card, first of all, we need to cut it into the pack a few times so that we can really get rid of it. And then not only that, we shall shuffle it in over here. I'm just going to right good shuffle in. And one more time, I think. Excellent. Okay, now I've got to find your card, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Because I haven't got a clue now whether your card's in the top half of the deck, whether it's in the middle half of the deck, or whether it's even still in the bottom half of the deck. But what I have got to do is find it. Now I'm going to have to get the help of some of the cards here to help me with this. So if I look at this card, it's going to tell me the suit of your card. So I know now that I'm actually looking for a diamond. Now the next card down will tell me how far it is. So I know it's 4 cards down. So 1, 2, 3, and that should be your card. And I know what you're doing, you're screaming at me now saying, no, I've already seen my card, it's up here, but you need to remember that this is your card, the Queen of Diamonds. You should never believe what you actually see in Magic. The cards up here are actually the 4 aces. It's just so confusing. It really is confusing. That's it for me, but just on a final note, I just want to try something. I'm going to take your Queen of Diamonds now, and I just want you to watch really, really carefully. In fact, in the pack, how far down in the deck would you say that actually is? To me, it looks about probably just short of halfway, give or take a card or two. Okay, now I always feel like I need to say Hail Mary every time I do this, but... And there is your Queen of Diamonds. And that, my friends, is Mysterious Magician. And thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Thank you.